Hey dudes, CI here. So if you've been living in the United States recently, you know that it's a frickin' mess and there's so much to be upset about. And I have been part of that. I have been upset and I have been wounded and all of those things. But I decided, is there any way that I could sort of take this in a lighthearted direction? Add a little, just a tiny bit of comedy to it? And I got to thinking, it's weird. It's a tough situation. See, here's the thing. And Linda will back me up on this because Linda and I had a little discussion where I was like, I'm almost ready to switch to a parliamentary system just because our system here in the U.S. is so messed up. And Linda was like, oh yeah, we got a parliament here in Latvia. It's a mess too. So I don't really know exactly what to do. I'm certainly not a political expert. But I decided, maybe it is time for some major changes. Now, when I talk about what we need to change from, I'm not really talking about the, white nationalist meatheads or the Nazi meatheads or the Antifa meatheads. What I'm really talking about are these meatheads. That's McConnell and Ryan, and they run our Congress, or rather they don't run our Congress. Let's spread it out. Let's spread the wealth. Let's talk about all of these meatheads. They are the United States Congress, and they are broken. I swear, our Congress has been broken for about 20 years now. They no longer work. They no longer are there to serve the American public. They are just there to have their little political victories, their little political bickerings back and forth, and nobody has any give, and nobody has any sway, and it is so utterly broken. The Constitution... See, here's the thing. The U.S. Constitution, everyone talks about it like it's this amazing thing. It's a miracle. It's the greatest thing that's ever been done in the world. What? I'm not sure I agree anymore. I used to think that, but now I'm like, it has brought us to this point. How good can it be? And I read some stuff recently about other countries and their constitutions. And what I discovered is our Constitution's been around a really long time. And we haven't changed it much at all. Other countries, they change their constitution somewhat regularly. Apparently, the French are on their 5th version, their 5th republic. So, if they're willing to change up their government in the 1950s, why don't we change up our government now? What could we do? When I was thinking about this, I was in a bad place, and I thought, how could I make this funny? How could I make this fun? Well, I like maps. Here's a map of the United States. And I was looking at this, and I was thinking, why don't we just break up the United States? Why don't we just say hell with it and start with something new? Now, I want to be clear. I'm not actually saying we should do this. I'm not saying that we should break up the U.S. But if we did, how would we do it? Well, what I did was I decided where are some obvious lines we could go down? Well, we've got the Mississippi River. We could have everything to the east of that. And we've got the Rocky Mountains. We could have everything to the west. Well, not quite. So I started drawing lines on the map, and what I came up with was this. Look at that. We split it into 3. We've got the center part there, which I got the little continental divide. And then over there, we go partway down the Mississippi. But then I decided to head east and follow sort of the Mason-Dixon line. So we've got all the, the old Civil War slave states down below. And I thought, okay, what do I think of that? Would that be 3 good countries? I don't know. Maybe. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? Now, I want to be, as I said before, I'm not actually calling for this to happen. This is just me being silly and fun and having messing around with maps. Messing around with maps is fun. Pretending stuff is fun. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to stop there, but next week we're going to come back and we're going to do a few things. We're going to name our new countries, and we might even get into demographics a little bit. Figure out who would want to live where. Because people can pick, right? They can decide what country to be in. And that'll be fun to try and figure out what they'll do, what they'll be like, what their economies will be like. So this will be fun. We'll do that all next week. And for now, please know that I am not trying to call for the overthrow of the United States. I'm just saying that we're a mess, and why not fool around with a little science fiction here? Why not mess with some maps? It's fun, right? All right, dudes. We'll get back into this next week. I'll see you then.